Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff McCombs, developer of the McCombs Anti-Candida Plan for Health, Vitality, and Transformation. Today I'd like to spend a little time with you and discuss the Candida Spit Test. The Candida Spit Test was promoted as a marketing tool in the mid-90s by a multi-level marketing company that sold an anti-Candida product. It was promoted as a fast, easy, reliable test for people to perform in their homes to validate that they had a fungal Candida infection. I'd like to explain to you a little bit why that is not a valid test and give you some more information behind valid testing. To perform the test, you take a glass of water first thing in the morning and spit into it. If the spit or mucus forms legs, little extensions down into the water, this is a sign, supposedly, that you have a Candida infection. Of course, this doesn't differentiate between a Candida yeast or a Candida fungal infection. But the truth of the matter is there are many things which can cause the mucus to thicken to such an extent that it would form these legs down into the water. A common one is dehydration. Now, if you've been sleeping all night, your mouth is closed, you haven't been drinking water, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be a little dehydrated. So the mucus will be thicker and form these strands or legs into the water. Other things that can cause the same thickening of the mucus could be airborne allergies, food allergies. You could have a virus, bacteria, yeast, mold, fungal infection, or parasite infection. Cold weather can also cause thickening of the mucus, and anybody who has lived in a cold climate can attest to that. Weather changes can also cause thickening of the mucus. So there are a lot of things that can cause thickening of the mucus. If you consider the body burden that most Americans and most people around the world hold in terms of toxin, there are generally over 1,000 different toxins that are in the body at any time. Each and any one of these can cause the mucus to thicken. So when we're doing a Candida spit test, we're not testing for anything specifically because thickened mucus can be a general indicator of many different types of allergic reactions or responses by the body and its immune system. If you want to do a saliva test, you would do a saliva antibody test. This is a valid test that's performed at a lab. Laboratories like BioHealth Diagnostics, Genova Diagnostics, Diagnostics Labs will perform saliva antibody tests. An antibody is a protein that is produced by our body's white blood cells in response to a substance that is non-human or non-self. This is a way that the body uses to identify that substance, again, should re-exposure occur later on. Other valid tests would be blood tests, stool tests, direct cultures of blood or stool or on another tissue. Metamatrix Labs does PCR testing, which is a genetic testing that can be done with the stool or blood. Great Plains Laboratories does organic acid testing. This is testing of byproducts of cellular metabolism from Candida. These are all different tests that can be performed to evaluate whether or not you have a systemic fungal Candida infection. The best way to use this information is to use several tests in conjunction with each other, along with a case history, present signs and symptoms, past history of antibiotic use, and whether or not you've done a Candida protocol and whether it's produced good results for you. If you take all this information, combine it together, you're going to get a clearer picture of whether or not you have a Candida infection. I hope you have found this information to be helpful. If you'd like more information, visit us at www.mccombsplan.com or call us at 888-236-7780. This is Dr. Jeff McCombs, and thank you once again.